Good morning. Okay, we're going to be working on section 16.5 today. This is more about scientific notation, which is what we were doing earlier or yesterday. So if you'll look on page 328, these are some really big numbers. The main thing, there's two main things I want you to get today, is to how to compare numbers that have, they're written in scientific notation, greater than, less than, equal to. And then also how calculators deal with scientific notation. So if you'll look right there in the middle of, right under where it says 16.5, the mass of the Earth is written there. How does that compare to the mass of Venus? Okay, so there you have two numbers. Well, before trying to count all those zeros, we're going to show you how to put those. We'd put those in scientific notation. Remember, moving the decimal to the left. And there you go. So scientific notation. So 1 is 10 to the 24th and 1 is 10 to the 24th. They both are. Now it's easy to compare. You can instantly see that the place is the same. They're both being multiplied by 10, raised to the same power, which is the exponent. Thus the Earth has a greater mass because 5.9722 is greater than 4.867. Jupiter, on the other hand, has a mass of approximately 1.89 times 10 to the 27th kilogram. So how does that compare? So there's the Earth's mass written in kilograms, written in scientific notation, and Jupiter's written in scientific notation. Now, you might be tempted to think that Jupiter has a smaller mass since 1.89 is less than 5.9722. But first look at the exponents. 1.89 is multiplied by 10 to the 27th power, while 5.9722 is only multiplied by 10 to the 24th power. Thus, 1.89 is representing a number several place values greater than 5.9722. This means that Jupiter is actually representing a greater value. So at the top of 329, it writes that out for you. Jupiter's mass is 10 to the 27th. There you go. And then it writes it out into regular decimal form for you. And the Earth's mass is written out. Now, take a look at that together. 10 to the 27th represents a greater number than 10 to the 24th, so Jupiter's mass is actually greater. When comparing numbers in scientific notation, start by looking at the exponent the 10 is raised to. Remember that a higher exponent of 10 means there are more zeros in that number, making it a greater number. So basically, you will compare by using the exponent. If they're the same, then you look at the regular number, the decimal number that goes with it. Now, on the calculator, this shows us different ways that a calculator will do scientific notation. I don't even think I've ever done scientific notation on a calculator before because I've never had one to do that. Now, you might be able, there we go. This would be a scientific calculator. So this would be different. You might have one. If you don't, maybe on your phone, if you have one, or your tablet or whatever, you can easily convert these to scientific calculators. I don't know how to use them. I don't know how. I've never been taught how to use a scientific calculator. Now, there may be a YouTube video, but I don't want y'all going to look on YouTube. I'll see if I can find one. I'm not going to do it today, but pretty soon we may be using one, probably once we get into book 2, and we'll both have to learn how to use these at the same time. But where it says on the calculator, it shows you the different ways that a calculator might represent something. So I don't even know how you would put in 7.2 times 10 to the 13th. Okay, there's E times 10 to the 13th. Would that be, I don't know. Yeah, that would be times 10 to the 13th, because that would be, okay, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It'll be 72. I did something wrong. Anyway, I'm not sure how to use it. It's not that important that you use it right now because you don't have to. But there's different ways to display 7.2 times 10 to the 13th on a calculator. So I'd like for you to kind of read, you do all the reading, and then the scientific notation, distance to the stars, you can read that if you want to. It has a lot of scripture references in there, especially in Job. But here's the thing for today. For the assignment, I don't particularly want you to do worksheet 16.5. It'd probably be good though if you did 1 and 2, and if you can do 3 on a calculator, if you can figure out how to do it, that'd be great. But I'm not even going to grade or anything for 16.5. If you do it, I'd like to check it, of course. But your assignment actually is to go ahead and start on the review worksheet 16.6. And it's kind of long, but really the reason it's long is because it has a lot of pictures and things on it, diagrams and such. So I'd like for you to work on 16.6. Is the main thing, because we're not really doing very much more with these exponents until later on. So if you would go ahead and start on worksheet 16.6, do the top of 16.5 if you'd like to, and kind of be a little bit ahead on that. The rest of it, once you're finished with, I really would like to check your quiz before you go to test 3, because after the quiz you're going to be doing test 3. So I don't really know quite how I want to check this. Let's do this. Let's do quiz 14 after you do section 16.6. And really, I'd like for you to go ahead and take the test if you're prepared. Test 3. That's a whole lot of work. It's the chapter review over all those chapters, and then it's a quiz, and then it's a test. So if you feel overwhelmed, don't worry about it. I'm not going to take off if you don't do something. If you feel overwhelmed, just do a little bit at a time. When I'm recording this should be the week before Thanksgiving, but I have a sneaking suspicion that none of y'all will be getting to this until after Thanksgiving, which is perfectly fine. So if you're not prepared to do all of that, then don't worry about it. You can take the test next week or the quiz or whatever. So to wrap it all up, the top of 16.5 is optional. I want you to do worksheet 16.6. Then I want you to take quiz 14 and test 3 if you're prepared. Okay? All right, that'll be all for today.